Good morning, everyone. I know at Butler Tech they start with claps. We could do that, but we won't. My name is Dave Morbeck. I'm the president of the Colerain Chamber of Commerce. I welcome you to our annual meeting of the Colerain Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate you being here this morning. Hopefully you've gotten some food and gotten to meet some folks. So thank you all for being here. Just a couple of bookkeeping things. If you didn't pick up your name badge, please pick it up on the way out. That way we know that you've been here. That's our way of taking attendance, so please do that. The program this morning, I'm going to introduce Will Roberts from the Southern Ohio Chamber of Alliance and give him a couple minutes to talk here about all the benefits, well, maybe not all of the benefits, because he'd be here the rest of the morning. But Will's been a long time chamber president, 15 years in the chamber world, has been now with SACA for 3 years. They have sponsored our breakfast, so thank you very much for doing that. After Will speaks, I'm going to share an update on the Chamber of Commerce, where we're at currently, where we're going. And at that point, I'm going to invite those who are going to speak to come up front. And each of them is going to have about 5 minutes to present, after which all of us will be here to be able to answer any questions that you may have about the community, about the schools, about the Chamber of Commerce. So with that, Will Roberts.
Thank you, sir. Well, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Is that good? Can you hear me okay now? Is this better? Yes. All right, we'll stay with that. So, well, great to be back in Colerain. Dave and Beth, thank you for having me back. It has been great to reconnect with some familiar faces in the room this morning. As Dave said, my name is Will Roberts. I am the relationship manager for the Southern Ohio Chamber Alliance. What is that? Well, we are a partner with your chamber. We provide benefit programs that you as the business community can take advantage of. Things like health care, workers' compensation, payroll services, merchant services, energy services, so on and so forth. And there's a trifold flyer of information so that, like Dave said, I'm not here for the next 3 hours talking to you about the different programs, but there's information there for you to look at and review. And then ask Dave and Beth how you might be able to get connected in those programs, because we know a healthy business community helps everyone, and we want to make you healthy by helping you save on your bottom line. So essentially, that's what we're here to do, save you money in your day-to-day operations. One thing you won't find in here, and I will briefly touch on, how many folks in the room are really getting that AI bug going in your day-to-day life, using any chat, GPTs or Geminis or whatever. Well, we have a new program out there that you can tag into through, again, your relationship with the chamber, something called Magi. Magi is an umbrella of all different platforms of AI, okay? It will bring together your chat GPTs or your Geminis or your Claudes or whatever. Actually, I have 50 different platforms under one umbrella and one cost. So if you are purchasing different subscriptions for different AI platforms, get away from that. You can get one subscription individually for $20 a month. You can get up to 5 in a team package for $40 a month. And oh, by the way, as your members with Colerain, if you take advantage of it and you register through the chamber itself, you can save off of those totals and have access to all of these AI tools all at once. You can use them together collaboratively. You can bring up 7 or 8 different platforms on your screen. So whatever that project may be, you can use all of those tools to help your process and be more streamlined, and again, save you money doing that. So, or for those who may be just dabbling into the AI world and maybe you want some training on it, we also have another program out there called Sidecar. Sidecar is all about training. So if you'd like to get into that, understand more about how AI can work for you and the different tools that are available to you, also look into that. All of those programs through the AI services or everything else that you find here in this trifold, they're available to you because of your membership with the chamber. Okay? Stay as a member, reap all the benefits that you get as being a member of your chamber, but also understand that there are more services out there besides your membership and networking and all the other fun things that Dave and Beth bring to the table. You have these other benefit programs out there designed to save you money. We hope that you'll look into that. And when you do, not only does it help your business save money, but it also does help support the chamber. So with that, Dave, back to you. Thank you all for being here.
We've had a long-standing relationship with SACA, and again, if you haven't met Will or Matt Appenzeller, please take the time to find them on our website, find the programs that we have available, take advantage of them. We see many of the benefits that each of you get to see with the cost savings of your energy program, with the cost savings of workers' comp or health insurance. How many of you know that you have a SACA benefit within your organization? Okay, just a handful of you that know it. Some of you may not know, but you actually do. So I have a prepared statement this morning. The typical approach for me is to just wing it and just speak from my heart. But this is a opportunity for me to share with you what's going on across the chamber. And I want to do that in a more formal way. It's tough to put into words because this room has hosted so many cool events. We've hosted the police and fire breakfast here each year. We've hosted the annual breakfast each year. We've had board meetings in this room. So to look out and to see your faces is awesome. I'm excited to see the next chapter and realize that this community has so much to give back, and it's just become part of my DNA. I still remember the first day as president. It was February 10th, 2020, and I walked in thinking, this is going to be a great year. And then the world changed, almost in an instant. And I'm fairly certain the ink on my business cards was not dry when we started saying 6 feet apart. Talk about timing. What stuck immediately with me was not that there was a disruption, but it was how each of you reacted to that disruption. And by that I mean manufacturers started producing PPE. Manufacturers started to do things a little bit differently. Retail businesses adapted. Those that didn't know what Zoom was all about purchased a Zoom subscription. Those of you who don't know what AI is, talk to Will about AI. If you don't know what that is, be sure to do that. But we changed overnight. We changed on a dime. And even though we couldn't shake hands, we still found ways to connect. And each of those connections has made this community stronger. That spirit to adapt and to support one another and to put relationship first is really at the heart of Colerain. It's at the heart of the West Side, and those of you who have been here long enough to know, I was told when I got here that people were going to ask me where I went to high school. So from the first day, I just simply said, hey, I'm Dave, I moved here from Illinois. You don't need to ask me where I went to high school. It was Lyons Township High School in LaGrange, Illinois. And from there, they went on to tell me about Elder or LaSalle or Colerain or Northwest. Or what?
Or St. Anne's.
Rick says St. X. Okay, fine. But being a Chicago native, I also had the distinction of wearing blue and supporting the Bears and the Cubs, which again, you embraced and said, hey, it's okay, you're a little bit different. But I've adopted the Bengals and the Reds and don't root against them. You'll see plenty of pictures of me in orange and blue. My board has made sure that I have the right apparel with the gifts that they've given me. Over the last 6 years, people have told me things like, the Chamber has been a connecting point for this side of town, or thank you for bringing your energy to Colerain. The truth is that it really has to do with you and your energy. It's your investment in the Chamber of Commerce that's made a difference in this community. I was told when I first started to be thinking about who my successor would be. And it's an odd question, but the Hamilton Chamber of Commerce is celebrating their 115th anniversary. The Cincinnati USA Chamber is 150 years old. Chamber of Commerce here is only 11 years old. And here, Carrie is going to be the next executive director, president, CEO. And 100 years from now, they're going to be looking back and going, who is Dave and Carrie? That wasn't top of mind. Today, who the president of the Chamber of Commerce was in Cincinnati 150 years ago. But foundationally, we've laid a really good set of groundwork for this community. Being a convener, and I've used that word and we've used that word as a chamber board, bringing together the school districts, the ancillary schools like Butler Tech and LaSalle and Mercy McCauley, who are here this morning and going to share. Bringing together 50 plus nonprofit organizations in our community, that's what's made a difference. Introducing programs like the Team Up to Green Up program have made Colerain a better place to live, work, and play. And it's not without the tireless efforts of people like Dean Ferrier and Laura Dakin and so many of you who have volunteered to make that happen. I see Doug in the back here. He power washed that wall where the mural is. Those are special times and that will stand for a long period of time. Andrea Correa is stepping up. Where's Andrea? She's in the back. Andrea is our board vice chair this year, and she's stepping up to lead that Team Up to Green Up initiative, taking after what Dean has laid foundationally for the last 4 years. I have no doubt that we're in good hands from that perspective. Looking back, we've accomplished a lot together, not just the mural, but the changes on Colerain Avenue, partnerships that have included over 100 events through the year. Within our membership, we now have 275 businesses associated with the Chamber. We started with 150, and we were just talking this morning. The database that we had when I came in had 450 businesses listed in our community. Well, there have to be more than 450 businesses was among the first questions I asked. Well, we have close to 2,000 businesses in our database, and so we continue to market to those businesses in the hope that they will see the light and join the Chamber. We have a foundation, an actual foundation. 2 years ago, we formed the Colerain Chamber Foundation and have 4 board members. I think that Rhina's in the room, Chief Walls is in the room, Kathy in the room, and Tony Smith have served on our board of directors for the foundation, a 501c3, in addition to the 501c6 that we have. We have a terrific board of directors. Rick Paratsky, wave your hand. You're going to hear from Rick in just a minute. Andrea's in the back. Troy Cyrus, right here in front, is our board treasurer, and Dean Ferrier, sitting up in the front, is our board secretary. Susan Bennett couldn't be here this morning due to shoulder surgery that she had earlier this week. What? I said shoulder because Patty's having shoulder surgery. Patty's having shoulder surgery after we get back from our trip in January, but she did have hip replacement surgery, and she's going to have her second hip replaced later this year. Susan's been a good friend of the chamber and obviously a true leader. We can't provide enough thanks to Jeff Weckbach, to Tawana, to Debbie, to all the people that serve the township here and have allowed us to use this facility on a regular basis. Mercy McCauley, LaSalle have been terrific partners with us. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the rock star, Beth Jones. We got to give her a hand. Her fingerprint is on every single event that we do here at the Chamber of Commerce, and she's instrumental in making all the things happen behind the scenes. Of course, there's nothing that happens without volunteers, all the committees, all the small work groups. Cafe just getting started. Colerain achieves financial empowerment. Deanna, thank you so much for hosting. The SINFED has been the host for those meetings, has graciously given of their space and their time and their energy for that. It's not without that commitment to the community that those programs exist. I'm thrilled to welcome Carrie as the new president and CEO of the Chamber. Many of you already know her because you've known her in the community. She has a warmth and generosity that is infectious. So we need to wrap around those qualities that she has and that she brings to the table and recognize that under a new leader will come a new set of paradigms, changes that will take place. The foundation that we've led and that we've fostered, not going to go away. But there's going to be a new leader here in the room, and you're going to get to meet her here in just a minute. As for Patty and I, she's having surgery, so we're sticking around. Last week was the World Series. This is my third year playing in the Roy Hobbs Adult Baseball World Series. It's been phenomenal. Made some great friends across the country playing with a team from New Jersey. But several people have said, you came home to this weather, don't you want to go back? And Patty likes the change of seasons. I like the change of seasons. I like the fact that things green up in the springtime. So we're sticking around. Thank you for trusting. Thank you for trusting in me, partnering with me, and welcoming me into your community.
Dave, thank you so much for the past 6 years it's been. It's hard to believe it's been that long. We've said it so many times, we'll say it again. We are so blessed to have you and to have had this time here with you. You've done such a great job with this chamber. We know Carrie is going to take it forward to the next level. We're here to continue that. I will also say that we are planning to have a retirement celebration. That wasn't it, just applaud and Dave's gone. We are going to have a little retirement celebration. We're trying to find the right time to do it. So just so you know that is coming. I hope all of you will be there for it. It is an exciting time to be on the Colerain Chamber Board. Dave has brought so much energy, and there's a lot going on that we've worked together with our board, with Dave and with Beth. Some of those things maybe you hear about. We've hired a marketing firm to help promote the image of Colerain and to work with us on how best to attract people here to support our businesses. We're going to be rolling out some plans with that marketing firm over the next few months. We're proud that we were able to help support our local police with a resolution in support of the police levies. So many of you in this room work hard for that. We're very proud that we were able to get that done. Thank you to our police and fire. Appreciate it. A couple of years ago, we adopted a resolution to support the trustees with their redevelopment efforts at Northgate Mall. That continues. That's a tough effort. People's ideas, support, and involvement in that are always welcome. We continue to work on that. It was a big, so let me talk about a couple of our retiring board members as we talk about some of our other accomplishments. Susan Bennett, as he mentioned, having surgery, can't be here today. Susan was on the board, I think, from the very beginning. She's been here the whole time. Such tireless effort, such great achievements, such efforts of bringing people together that were successful that I feel like it culminated with the mural in Hands Across Colerain last summer. That mural is going to be there for a long period of time, and it's an example of, you know, we've been thinking on the board, and we did pass a resolution of intent last month to try to bring some other artwork to our community. And we don't know what that's going to be yet, but the way that businesses and community members can rally around that, it can be attraction to bring people in. Those are the types of things we want to do. So we will take your ideas about that. We'll talk to our marketing firm about that. Susan was so instrumental in that inspiring project. So even though she's not here, let's give her a round of applause for her service. Jelani Jackson is also a retiring board member, so we want to recognize him for his efforts. He was here this morning. We had a lot of business that we conducted before we came over here. And then he said, oh, the power's out at my restaurant. I got to run down the street. And this is what it's like for a restaurant owner like that. He is juggling everything. But, you know, typical of his involvement with the community, you may have seen that Richie's Chicken and Soul offered free kids meals during this time of all the SNAP benefits being shorted this past month. Free kids meals to everybody. So inspiring. And even though Jelani's not here, let's give him a round of applause for his effort. I'd like to welcome two of our new board members that were just approved officially this morning. And that is Jayla Willingham. Jayla, are you here this morning? Congratulations. Jayla is with Little Brothers Friends of the Elderly, a group that helps support our elderly neighbors. And I know I've gone to events there, and very inspiring to help those folks out. We look forward to working with you. Thank you. Our other new board member is Tashonda Wooten. Tashonda, are you here this morning? Tashonda is the balloon lady, helps supply. She's a local Colerain business that helps supply balloons for all your party needs. So
She
please.
did the balloons up front.
Oh, wow. Okay. We'll have to pay special attention to those balloons on the way out. But yes, thank you. Look forward to working with you, Tashonda. All right, so that brings me to my last introduction of Carrie Robers. Dave alluded to her. We had the chance to interview a number of candidates, and we were so impressed with Carrie's enthusiasm, her commitment to Colerain, and her leadership skills. She has been the community events manager for Miami Township, as you may know, and she's demonstrated a strong commitment to operational excellence and community engagement there. She said she's just going to be a sponge during this period of transition to soak up everything that Dave knows and that Dave can do for our community, to take that to the next level so that we can continue to succeed. And, you know, as these months go by, please join me in giving strong support to Carrie, and please welcome her this morning. Come on up, Carrie.
Good morning. I just want you to know, I'm not going to tell you which one said this, but when I was interviewing and then I was eventually hired, they couldn't gush enough about you and tell me how much you did. And someone said we probably could have paid him $500,000 a year for everything he did. So that's a discussion to have with them, not me, but I think it's worth having. So anyway, good morning. I stand before you as the proud, anxious, eager incoming president of the chamber. And I typically would speak from the heart as well, but I had to write it down because I knew that I was going to be in a room full of important people, and you all make me very nervous. So thank you, Rick. Thank you, Dave, for everything. So right now I'm in a very unique situation. I have my current boss and all of my new bosses in the same room. So I feel compelled to say something wonderful about Miami Township right now. My years there have taught me so much. I've learned valuable lessons on working alongside township trustees, hosting large community events, and collaboration with local businesses. All of those things have helped pave the path to this position. I'm so proud of the programs that Mike Robeson and I have built within that township. We have our largest community event coming up on December 5th. I'm sure Mike wants it to go very, very well. So if you have questions about me, you're welcome to see him after, and he will say fantastic things about me. Dave and I are working together on a seamless transition. In my interview, like Rick said, I said that I wanted to be a sponge and learn every single thing that Dave knew. Well, I'm quickly realizing there's no sponge big enough. For the next several months, he will be pouring me information, and I plan to soak it up with great enthusiasm. Dave is leaving a legacy, and for that, we should all be thankful. He has grown the chamber into far more than most imagined it could be. A little about myself. I spent a majority of my career with receptions, starting in sales roles and ending as a managing partner. The last several years have been in Miami Township as the community event manager. Other than 2 years outside of Chicago after getting married, I have lived in this community my entire life. My husband, Dave, and I both graduated from Colerain. I can't seem to get away from Dave's. They're everywhere in my life. So my husband, Dave, and I both graduated from Colerain. Our parents still live here, and every single house we buy seems to be 1 mile from the last house. We are true West Siders. Most that know me will say that I am a Colerain girl through and through. While that is very true, I think of it more as a community girl. I've spent a large portion of my life advocating for this community and trying hard to shine a positive light on all of the good happening around us. Our 2 boys graduated from Colerain. Our 2 girls graduated from Mercy McCauley. Our oldest daughter is a proud and devoted cheer coach for LaSalle. We realize the importance of the programs that Butler Tech offer. Our youngest son has been perfecting his trade working for Midwest Stonescapes since he was 15 and a half, and he's now 25. I have to insert something here. I was reading what I was going to say to all of my kids last night, and my youngest, Alyssa, quickly said, "Why did you highlight Zachary and Alyssa and not me and Trevor?" So I do, or not me and Zachary. So I do have 2 other kids. I have Zachary, who lives in Lexington. He's an engineer, and Alyssa's a nurse at Good Sam. So if any of you know them, tell them I mentioned all 4 of them, please. So Dave and I pride ourselves on the fact that our children have been raised in a home that is community-minded, engaged, and supportive of the area that we dearly love. I do not believe that it is a coincidence that I am now the president of an organization that shares those same core values. As president, I plan to continue supporting, connecting, and celebrating Colerain and all of Northwest Cincinnati. I look forward to working alongside the businesses, schools, churches, and nonprofits and civic organizations to continue the positive momentum that Dave started. Thank you.
So we're out of time. We won't hear from any of the other speakers this morning, but thank you, Rick. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Of course, that's my sense of humor. Everybody else come on up that's going to speak.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Daryl Yater, Superintendent of Northwest Local Schools, and I am excited to be here. Dave said 5 minutes. I could talk 5 hours for the amazing things that we're doing in the district. As a school district, we are in the 2nd year of a 3-year continuous improvement plan where we said we were going to raise our overall school improvement rating by an entire star. After 1 year, we raised it a half star, and we were only 0.7 of a point from meeting our entire 1-star goal in the first year of our plan. Amazing things are happening in our district. We have 4 kids last year who graduated with an associate's degree and a high school diploma at the exact same time. We have kids graduating with so many college credits or going in as a sophomore. We have 2 national merit semifinalists. We are closing the gap with our students reading, growing kids at amazing rates. Things are really progressing academically at Northwest Local in an extremely positive light. We also, as a steward of community taxpayer dollars, have a partnership where we will not grow our organization more than 3% to stay within inflationary growth and to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollars. That, in addition to all the other financial parameters we have in place, we're extremely proud of the fact that this fall we broke ground on a brand new Colerain Elementary. And in doing that, we are leveraging credits from our 2015 construction project, direct funding from the state of Ohio, and resources we were able to reallocate internally to make sure that we're building that building with not one additional tax on our community. That is an amazing feat that not many districts across the state of Ohio can say, that they are building a building with no tax on their community. So it is an amazing time for our district. With all of that said, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to comment on some of the things that are happening. Tax reform is necessary. Taxes are too high in our community, and we agree and acknowledge that. Our legislators right now, even today, are voting on 4 bills that they are calling tax reform that are shifting the burden. In the mid-90s, the State Supreme Court of Ohio ruled the funding unconstitutional for public schools in the state of Ohio because it relies too heavily on property taxes. In the mid-90s, the state was paying about 50% of the cost of public education in the state of Ohio. Over the next 2 years, they will reduce that down to 32%, which is the lowest the state of Ohio has ever contributed to public education in the history of our entire state. That reduction has created a disproportionate share on the locals, on our residents, on our communities, and that is not sustainable or fair. A lot of the things that they are doing right now as legislative fixes to property taxes are shifting the burden from the local community to the backs of schools and local governments. That is not sustainable either. We are currently the lowest per pupil expenditure in Hamilton County as a district. We are using taxpayer funds efficiently, effectively, and with great results. We cannot continue to have the legislators continue to defund public education by defunding their share. They must continue to pay their share and not put the burden on the communities and the schools. So we continue to advocate for this entire community for fair, equitable, and sustainable funding for the residents and the schools. We have a unique place in this community. We have amazing public schools and we have amazing private schools. It is a both and, not an either or proposition. And we have to be able to continue to build up all of our educational options because all of our students deserve that. Public schools graduate over 90% of the workforce of this state. We must continue to invest in our schools in order to have the workforce you need to continue to build strong communities, strong residents, and strong citizens. So we are excited for the work that we're doing, the partnership that we have with our businesses and our parents and our broader community, and our entire educational ecosystem that we have. So thank you for this opportunity, and I'm excited to continue to grow the school systems and our graduates into our community as they continue to live, work, and play here. Thank you. One of our amazing partners, Butler Tech, is next.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is William Sprankles. I'm the proud CEO and superintendent for Butler Tech Schools, and I'll be super brief this morning. 2 nights ago on social media, I think the CEO from Ford got online and he made a couple of posts and a couple statements about Ford being in a significant jam because they're lacking 7,000 mechanics as a car organization, and they're just in a major bind. I share that because inside of Colerain High School, Butler Tech has a really strong diesel program. And it's one of the strongest programs in this particular area. And if you didn't know that, I just wanted to start with that this morning. It's one of our best kept secrets that we have that opportunity right here in your backyard, running up and down the Colerain corridor. There's also a couple other programs that on behalf of Butler Tech, I'd like to share with you this morning to make sure that you know the students that are part of the Colerain and Northwest School District and those particular schools have access to. Butler Tech is going to be opening a brand new aviation high school. That high school opens on the Middletown Airport runway. It opens in January. Literally, the high school sits on the runway. The students that live in the Colerain and Northwest School District, of course, have access to that program. So through our application process, those students can travel up to Middletown, complete their education there, and the aviation industry is booming. In particular, in Southwest Ohio, there are more aviation jobs in a 2-hour radius of the greater Cincinnati area than any geographical location in the entire United States of America. So that's the first opportunity that I wanted to make sure you folks knew existed in this particular region. The second one is healthcare. Students from Northwest schools have an opportunity to enroll in our Bioscience Center, and we've doubled that particular program in size. It's the red building off of 75 North and South. It usually holds 350 students. We're doubling it, so it'll hold 700 students. There's an additional 350 seats for the healthcare industry, and regarding healthcare, it is the greatest in-demand industry in the next 10 years in this country, with guaranteed labor and guaranteed workforce and the highest in-demand fields. Students from this particular community have access to all of those programs. And then thirdly, we are launching a brand new advanced manufacturing school in partnership with Miami University. So you heard Darryl talk about all of the wonderful and high-achieving students at Colerain and Northwest. They also have an opportunity to take their skills and their talents to Miami University / Butler Tech campus, located at the regional campus in Hamilton. And on that particular campus, what makes it different, it's the first high school in the country that has 30 to 40 companies inside the building with the students. So full-fledged companies are operating, consulting, leading, and training young people inside the school with the students in partnership with them. So to quickly review, that's an advanced manufacturing center we're opening, an aviation high school that we're opening, and we're doubling our healthcare center. Those are 3 of the most in-demand industries, 3 most in-demand job sectors. I just wanted to make sure from a chamber and school partnership, you all heard that messaging from us. There's going to be tours and ribbon cuttings. If anyone in this room would desire to take a tour of any of those campuses at any given time, you can simply jump on the Butler Tech website, email me directly, and I will get you in contact with the people that are facilitating those tours. We're super proud of and super grateful for our partnership with the Northwest School District. It's one of our most in-demand. It's one of our most in-demand school districts that we partner with, meaning those students select to come to all of our campuses, and the numbers are just tremendous. What that means is young people from the Northwest School District are really passionate about getting into the proper career fields, the proper industries, and we couldn't be more grateful for that partnership. I see my colleague put her hand up, which means she wants to tell me, or we're going to talk about something that she wants to contribute. Marnie, go for it.
What are applications due?
Our application process, Butler Tech does have an application process that students have to apply to come. It's a lottery process, so there's no interview, there's no grades, there's no attendance. We take whoever applies. The application window is open right now, and it closes the last day of January 31st. So tell your neighbors, tell your children, tell your grandchildren, whoever else that you're interested in communicating with. Butler Tech is a very proud partner of the Northwest School District, and we believe there's an opportunity for every young person out there. The research, if you didn't know, is that if a young person takes one career tech class, just one, between grades 7 and 12, they're 10% more likely to be successful their first year in college or their first 6 months on the first job they have upon graduating from high school. So thank you guys for giving me some space this morning. Thank you for inviting me in for a great breakfast and some great colleagues, and I'm not sure who's next. Mike is up. On the count of three, let's have a thunderous applause for Mike Overby. 1, 2, 3.
I, as Daryl, can talk for hours on LaSalle, but I'm going to start my timer as well. First off, I'll start with partnership. Daryl and William and I collectively have 100 years of experience in education. I'm almost sure of that. And 99. But the partnership of Northwest School District, Butler Tech, and LaSalle is strong and needed. As Daryl said, there's room for all of us to grow and make an impact and transform lives. So please know that we do work closely with Daryl when it comes to things, and obviously Bridget as well, but there is that deep partnership. Speaking of partnership, we're just getting off of our Truck Full of Love canned food drive that's been going on at LaSalle for probably 40 to 50 years, filling a complete rig of food that we disperse throughout the community, Catholic and non-Catholic charities, especially in this time of need. And then I'd like to highlight that our seniors last year completed 19,000 hours of community service by the time they graduated. That's 125 guys doing 19,000 hours over their time period at LaSalle High School. So the partnership not only with our schools, but with our community and the greater community as well. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about investment. Since 2020, we have invested $8 million into our school. $8 million. Pretty much any classroom our young men go into has air conditioning. They're not as tough as we were when we were in school, but air conditioning, flooring, ceiling, new furniture, new desks, new chairs, pretty much everything you would need to have a 21st century classroom. So we're really proud about that. Other areas of the building have also been impacted. This summer alone, we air conditioned our gym. Again, in 60 years, that gym has never been air conditioned, and it primarily was out of safety. We hold major events in there during the school day, and as we all know, school safety is at the top of everyone's mind as we think about anything that happens. So air conditioned the gym. We renovated our art room at the tune of $200,000. We turfed our baseball infield. I know that's music to Dave's ears, but our baseball field in the back of campus has now been air conditioned. So we're really excited about that. And all that came through from $1 million gift from one of our donors. So really excited about that. What we're also really excited about when investing is investing in more into LaSalle High School. And that comes from a new master facility plan. We conducted a strategic plan 2 years ago. As you know, with strategic plans, you usually come out of a building project with that. And during that time, the orphanage, St. Joe's Orphanage that sits behind LaSalle High School has been demolished by the Archdiocese of Cincinnati. So we want to take advantage of that property. We're owned by the Archdiocese, who also owns that land. In our new master facility plan, which I'd be happy to share with others, major pieces of that are hopefully building a gym and an indoor facility back there, field house. And then we would take our current gym and turn it into a performance center, worship center, event center. So those are the big pieces of that project. I could talk for a long time on that. To be clear, we've raised $0 for it. So we're just in what we call the feasibility study of seeing what's the ability to be raised. And why I say that is that LaSalle is here to stay. LaSalle is here. We are partners in Colerain and Green Township, and we feel like we are needed and make a huge impact on the community. And then finally, impact. Impact for us is I've been transformed twice. Once as a student at LaSalle, and now coming back as the president. And so I want to give that gift to others in our community, to boys. We believe that every student deserves to be noticed, named, and known at LaSalle. We don't notice them every day, if they're there or not. We want to be able to name every student in our building, and we would like to know their story. And how we do that is by staying within our numbers. We would like to be between 550 and 600 students. Right now, we're at 450. We're growing. We had 111 my first year as president. We, a freshman, 127 last year, and we are now at 143 freshmen. And so that's a great number for us. All of our numbers, I'm a data guy, we're 20% higher in our shadows, 15% higher in our inquiries, and we're about 25 families more at open house from 2 years ago. So we feel like the numbers are growing thanks to Rick's daughter. She's wearing red. We got to get Rick to wear a little red at LaSalle. But we feel like we're in that growth area. A lot of it's due to the investment in the building, but also you'll see a heavy marketing from any of our Catholic brothers across the area. You can't go probably 2 miles without seeing a billboard for one of us. So finally, impact. All male education is needed. Boys are in crisis. I've been in education for 30 years. They're not leaving their basements. They are missing milestones like getting their driver's license or getting that first job. We talked earlier, I was hearing that they were talking about communication. Well, they can't even communicate with each other, and we expect them to communicate with adults. So as a community, we have to continue to invest not only in boys but also girls. But in my opinion, that all male education is needed to really concentrate and make all males contributing members of society. I've been doing a lot of research study and everything else. Yes, our public schools are doing a great job. Our girls, all girls Catholic schools are too. But I still think there is a need for an impact that we can make in an all male education in the 21st century. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for the time. We're really proud of what we're doing at LaSalle, and I went over about 30 seconds, so I apologize.
Now I bring it forward.
You got it?
Good morning. It's my honor to be here today. I am Bridget Foley. I am the president of Mercy Macaulay High School. And I hope, if nothing else, from hearing of all of us who are in education, that your takeaway today is how critical education is for our young people. I think everybody knows that, but I think it's definitely reinforced. And I think what's amazing about our community is you can't make a bad choice. And I think it's really what students are doing today. They're really taking ownership of their educational pathway. And so whether they choose a technical school, a public school, or a Catholic school, they want to go where they see their best fit. And unfortunately, I think they feel a lot of pressure to know what they're going to be when they grow up. I'm still trying to figure that out. So I hope that they know that they have lots of options out there. At Mercy Macaulay, we are seeing growth as well, just like LaSalle. We want to have slow growth, though. I am very encouraged by the numbers of students we have. We are an all-girls Catholic school, in case you didn't know. We have been around since 2018. We brought together Mother of Mercy and Macaulay High Schools. We are on the Macaulay campus. And it's important for us to know our students, especially with young women today. They have so many things going on. The phone alone is just, we all know what's doing today. And so it's really important to us to know each one of our students. Our principal knows every single kid's name. She walks the hall and she greets every single kid by her name. And so currently we have 376 students. That is 31 more students than we had in the building last year. We are projecting a growth. I am hoping it's going to be our 10th anniversary in 27-28, and my goal is to get us to 425. We are planning to cap our classes, though. We do not want to be the biggest school in town. We just want to be the best. And that's what we think our young women deserve. Like LaSalle, we have done a lot of things to our building, to our campus overall. We're in the middle of a capital campaign. It's a $5.5 million capital campaign. We have raised $5.2 million so far. Because that has been so successful, why not add a stretch goal? And so we added another $4.5 million in order to build a turf stadium on our own campus. We have a soccer field in the back. But as I told the designers, I would like something that doesn't look like our backyard. And so we will be building a stadium with a turf field, and we will be upgrading the arts. The first part of the capital campaign has been focusing on our classrooms. Like most of the building was air conditioned, the larger spaces, but a lot of the classrooms were not air conditioned. So we spent a lot of money over the last summer, and we have 2 more summers to go where we are updating HVAC and adding new windows and new furniture. We're excited about everything that is happening at Mercy Macaulay. And last but not least, as we talk about young women, one of the things that that I live by, and I took this job, it's just been 2 years that I've been there. And I was at Macaulay and then at Mercy Macaulay, and I took a step away for a few years before coming back. And one of the things that really resonates with me, and I think I'm trying to model this for our young women, is that women need to lift each other up. And they were so much more successful and so much stronger if we all come together. And so I had an idea, and I brought the other Cincinnati all-girls schools together, and we submitted a grant for the first time ever. All 5 schools, so Mercy Macaulay, Seton, Ursula, Ursuline, and Mount Notre Dame, came together, collaborated, and received a $2 million grant from the Charlotte Schmidlap Foundation here through Fifth Third for $2 million over 3 years for STEM initiatives. We've actually already received the first payment. And the best part about this grant, if you've ever done a grant, especially since we're collaborating with the other girls' schools, is that each school gets to use the money how we want, as long as it's used for STEM initiatives. So we're still doing the research. I have an idea. I don't want the cat to get out of the bag, so I'm not going to share it here today. But we hope to announce something very soon. But we just think, and we know we talked about all of the areas of growth that are happening in businesses today, and we believe that our young women will really benefit from additional programming in the STEM field. So we're really excited about that and very proud, and just know that some wonderful things are happening at Mercy Macaulay today. Thank you for your attention.
This is a commercial announcement on behalf of the Colerain Chamber of Commerce. Please come out to our Christmas party and holiday fiesta, December 11th, at Pebble Creek. Thank you. I'm sure that will get cut into a segment someplace along the line. No, the reason I took the mic is I didn't want to be remiss in mentioning that across our community we have terrific parochial and private elementary schools as well. We hope to continue to build on the educational partnership that we have with Northwest, with Butler Tech, and the other schools in the community. And through the community, those children have, as both Daryl and Mike have said, it's important to have that public-private partnership across the community, and we have terrific private schools as well. I do want to say thank you to Nick and to Dana. Waycross Media has been an amazing community partner with us. Thank you for videotaping today, and thank you for taking the time. To my left are 4 of the amazing gentlemen in our community that just make it happen. Jeff Weckbach has just been a strong supporter of the Chamber from the very beginning, become a good friend. I'm going to turn the mic over to him. Oh, we're going to turn it over to Ed first. Like I said, Ed's going to talk first.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and go first because let's be honest, if Jeff got up here, he'd say half of what I was going to say. So let's just, so right off the bat, if those that do not know me, I'm used to moving around, so bear with me here. Those that do not know me, my name is Ed Cordy. I'm the Chief of Police. It's important for me to be able to get up here and especially this group because let's just reflect on what it's been for the last 3 years since I've been the Chief of Police. There's been a cloud looming over the police department and frankly the entire township staff as a whole for what was coming. From the word go for me, funding was a major issue. We had to figure it out. Within the first year of me being the police chief, we had to have a levy. It didn't go well. Very quickly after that, had to have another levy. Didn't go well. This last levy that just occurred 2 weeks ago had massive implications for the entire township. Looking at changes, additional changes within the police department, talking about additional changes as it relates to the parks, roads, senior center, almost everything else. Terrible decisions were going to have to be made. Well, 2 weeks ago we did it. We passed our levy with the help of each and every one of you that's inside this room. So coming from the police department, thank you. I really do greatly appreciate it. I know quite a few of you did anything and everything you could, had a lot of those individual conversations in your pockets of friends and just realm of influence. So again, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you being there for us. So now what, right? Now what do we get to do? Well, we get to grow. Right off the bat, the police department's going to be able to fill some of that staffing we lost 2 years ago. We're not going to be able to backfill all of that staffing, but we're going to get back to where we were. Once we have staffing in the police department, we're going to add an additional area of responsibility inside the 275 loop. Currently, right now, there are 3 officers that handle the majority of our calls for service. There's 2 additional officers on the northern part of the township and 1 on the west side. So 1 on the north, 1 on the west, with 3 handling the majority of the work inside the 275 loop. There's a supervisor that overlooks everything, but those 3 are the ones that tend to do most of everything inside the township. Once we have the staffing brought in, we're going to be able to put that 4th individual inside there, which is going to increase our response times. It's going to reduce the workload on those 3 individuals and pulling people from the north and the west, so we can have actually dedicated officers at the north and the west side of the township. And it's overall going to just have a major impact on our officers as well as the community as well. We're going to be able to actually get back to the basics, meaning our traffic enforcement, being able to do some of the community business checks that we used to do in the past, our vacation checks, some of the things that we wanted to be able to do, but with a reduction of almost 20% of our officer staffing, we just were not able to do. So for me, the future is there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of positive impacts for us, and it's going to take some time. So again, 2 weeks ago, we passed our levy. A week ago, we put a release out indicating that we were hiring, looking for individuals to come in. And within the first couple days, we had 100,000 views of our social media posts and over 60 applications come flooding in from different individuals. So for us, it really comes down to, do we hire a new person? Do we hire a lateral person? How do we grab somebody that's certified? So if we look at the 3, frankly, we're just going to grab the best individual that's available. We're not going to take the easiest fix. We tend to always go for the person, not for the easy solution. So if the best person is a lateral officer, we're looking probably 3 to 4 months before we have them out with solo patrol out there in the township. Or if we're looking for a brand new person that's never been certified throughout the state, that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 months for us to get them in, put them through the training that they need through the state, to put them through their actual individual training through as a police officer and get them out on their own. So it will take time, but that's something that we're going to be able to quickly move with and have a pretty large impact probably by the first half of 2026. So again, I couldn't imagine what 2026 would have looked like if this levy did not pass. My sincere thanks once again for that. I'm sure there'll be some questions and I can answer otherwise, but I'm going to yield some of my time. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up here Chief Alan Walls. It's important for us to also acknowledge that this is Alan's last time that he'll be with us at this breakfast, as he's slated to retire in September of 2026. Alan, we appreciate you, I appreciate you, and thank you.
I guess the cat's out of the bag now. Nonetheless, for those of you who know me, my name is Alan. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael. And you might be wondering, what? I actually go by my middle name, Alan. So when people call the house and ask for Michael, it's easy. He doesn't live here. Have a good day. So, oddly enough, I'm the 3 out of 4 fire chiefs here in Colerain have gone by their middle name. So, history that you probably didn't know, that you're going, I really didn't want to know it anyway. But yeah, as Ed said, September, I'll be retiring and moving on to what's next, and that's spending time with kids and grandkids, something that we all aspire to do. So this year, we've been fortunate and blessed to replace 2 of our fire stations, Station 102, which was the Dunlap Volunteer Fire Department station that went back to about the 50s, and then Station 26, which was the Groesbeck Volunteer Fire Department station. That station went back to about 1966. So we moved Station 102 down to Generation Drive. In fact, it's about right over there. And what we've realized there is a 750% increase in the number of residents that we reach within 4 minutes. We've also realized a 271% increase in unit responses with Engine 102 and Medic 102, and we've seen about a 100% increase in the responses that fire station is making. But we've also seen a 50% decrease in the response time to the majority of where the residents live in that quote-unquote district. So if you look at Colerain Township, we had District 102, 109, 25, 26, and 103. And looking at some of these numbers, you might think, wow, how can that happen? So we erased those borders. We dispatch by automatic vehicle locator, so every vehicle has an antenna on it. When a call comes in via satellite, it can find the closest units. So we have what are called response plans. It finds the closest units and it dispatches them to it. It may be seconds, it might be minutes, or it could be minutes, or it could be Medic 25 is driving up Colerain Avenue down at Burnside. A call comes in there and tag they're it because they're the closest unit. In fact, just this morning, Medic 102 went to what would have been Medic 26 all the way down on Old House Road, but by virtue of the interstate, Blue Rock Road, Lockwood Hill, and then Old House, they're the closest units. So when you look at those responses, a lot of that's due to automatic vehicle locators as opposed to, well, that used to always be this unit or that used to always be that unit. In addition, we have seen Station 26 then become the busiest fire station in the district because Station 102 has taken some of the workload off of Station 25, which is in the Northbrook area. So we've been able to balance out some workload, get to residents quicker. Likewise, see Station 26 become the busiest fire station that there is. Obviously, we wouldn't have been able to do any of that without the support of the board, the administrator, and all of you who live and work here in the township. One of our trustees happens to be here, Kathy Ulrich. She'll probably tell you that when she got elected, I may have taken her around to some of the fire stations. There was probably a strategy there because shortly thereafter we started working on replacing 2 of those stations. So thank you for that support and to the board members that aren't here as well. With that, I think my time is up and I will yield to the administrator, Jeff Buckbach.
So it has been quite the year in the township, and it's been a pretty incredible year. And I know Dave asked for me to speak about a lot of the things that Colerain has done and what our staff have done. But as I was sitting up there and just kind of perusing the room and seeing who's here, I feel like each and every one of you has not only contributed positively as a business, but in your own personal life as well. And so I can think of stories with so many of you just individually on how you give back to this community to make it great, and you help fill the needs when they arise. And to use just one example, I'm going to point out Jelani again. I know he was mentioned earlier, but there was a need in the community, and his organization stepped up to help fill that need by providing food to folks that needed it most. And I think that just encapsulates how much Colerain cares. Each business cares, each one of you cares, and that means the world to me, and that means the world to all of our residents. So give yourselves a quick round of applause for everything you guys do. Now, when it comes to township business, we are in year 2 of a 3-year strategic plan. We're about to wrap up year 2. We set aside 6 different goals that were really our highlights of what we were trying to achieve and accomplish. The first goal was fiscal sustainability. Chief talked a little bit about the police levy, but beyond that, we operate on about a $50 million a year budget. Over this past year, we've secured or deployed over $10 million worth of grants in this community. That's a huge number when you talk about, roughly a quarter to 20% of what your budget is that has come back into this community from outside resources. Beyond that, public safety. Ed didn't spend a lot of time talking about it, but we have a high impact crimes unit that has done a great job at getting some of those nasty drugs and different things off the streets to help keep folks safe. Things like fentanyl, that it doesn't take much of a contact for something horrible to happen to an average bystander. Public safety, Alan talked a little bit about the increases and improvements, but I was looking at numbers coming over here, and we're actually seeing about a 20-second better response out of our fire department. And that is hard to do, but by being strategic, by moving forward with these initiatives in this plan, that's why we're seeing these improvements. Recreation, we continue to have amazing parks and finding ways to make them even better. I don't know if any of y'all have been out to Heritage to climb on the new climbing rock. I think that's a fun little challenge because depending on your level of abilities, there are different ways to approach it and different ways to climb it. That was funded by the state of Ohio, which was another great way. We continue to have amazing events that we partner with. We continue to have this amazing facility here. If anybody needs their day to be brightened, stop by the senior center, talk to some of the members. Everybody's so happy here. I mean, it's one of the easiest places to find that moment of positivity if you need it. When it comes to infrastructure, we've continued to make progress throughout the community. I know roads aren't the most exciting topic for people, but our road scores have improved by about 5 points from 2020 to 2025. They're rated a 66, so you educators might call that not a great score, but in road rating criteria, that's satisfactory, so we feel like that's a good spot for us, and we're going to continue to make progress there. When we look at our different partnerships too, we oftentimes look at where our schools are and where we're missing infrastructure. So earlier this year, we adopted a Safe Routes to School plan in conjunction with the Northwest Local School District. That's going to bring more money into our community so we can build more sidewalks to make sure that folks can get to and from school safe, but also everyone else that's trying to get from their business or wherever they might be. I was really excited to see 2 of our projects finish this year on the sidewalk front. That's sidewalks along Pippin Road, connecting residents to Northwest High School, and at the same time, a new sidewalk on Joseph Road, connecting our residents to Colerain High School. So those have been, great improvements. Those were 2 of the highest rated priorities by the community back in 2018. So when I say that, federal funds take a long time to get to us, so maybe Warren's team can help make that faster in the future, but that's just how that goes. And then probably something that isn't discussed a lot, and one of our goal areas is alternative service delivery. We're constantly looking for ways to do things better. So this past year, we actually went through and we mapped out every single thing we do in our organization. And we went through a thought exercise of, can we do it differently? Can we do it cheaper? Can we do it more effectively? Should we even be in that business line? And I think that's going to help us as we move forward. It's going to lead to a bunch of new initiatives, which I know the staff is going to love when they get all these things thrown at them. But it's process improvement is important to the township, and it's important to us to make sure we're moving forward. Now, probably the thing that's of most interest to a business community is what we're doing on the revitalization front. So you heard a little bit earlier from Dave about the mural. That's a great example of revitalization. But we also are doing some things through our police department and through code enforcement to tackle problem properties, to try to remove blight throughout our community. On the development side, David Miller probably knows the exact number, but we've had over $100 million worth of new investment in this community. And that's not just businesses, that's new homes. That's people choosing to come, locate, and live in Colerain Township. And that's because of our great schools that we have throughout our community, and that's because of the amenities and the access and everything else that goes on in Colerain. And when it comes to housing, it's not like there's just one type of house being built. It ranges from apartments all the way up to multi-million-dollar homes. All of it's being built in Colerain right now in different pockets of our community, which is just amazing and fantastic. One of the things I get asked about a lot is what's going on with the mall. That's probably at the top of the mind for a lot of people. As you all know, we went down an endeavor of buying Sears, and we're making progress on knocking that building down. So I think every time you drive by, you probably see it getting closer and closer. We're continuing to work with developers to try to find the right partner for a mixed-use development that makes sense for our community. I often say we don't have a Main Street. And Springdale and Colerain Avenue, that's kind of the heart of our community. And if you actually just look at a map of our community and you were to draw a heart, that probably would be the exact center of where the heart would be. And so our goal is to make sure that we take the right care, we take the time to do this right so that we have the perfect spot for all of our residents to live, work, and play. And so stay tuned. Over the next year, we're going to be embarking on a new strategic planning process because once we finish up this one in 2026, we're going to need a new one for 2027 to 2031. So you'll probably get emails, surveys, all kinds of good stuff from me. Please respond to those. You're probably going to see us doing things a little differently in terms of some of our meetings as well, because we want to try to get more of that feedback to fuel that plan so we can continue to make the progress that we've already started out on. And with that, I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to turn it over to Mike Robeson from Warren Davidson's office.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, first of all, I know there's going to be a party for you, but congratulations, Dave. It's clear you put your heart and soul into this organization, and I am very confident that Carrie Robers is going to continue that and put her heart and soul into this organization. So you're in very good hands, but thank you for your service in growing this into what it is today. You know, I attend some of these things, and some of them are snoozers, and and this is clearly not the case here today, mostly because you could tell the passion that everybody has up here. Particularly, I want to point out William. I thought he was going to just rip right through this thing because he is just like so fired up over Butler Tech. But you know, Congressman Davidson, we just actually toured the new aviation building that's being built up in Middletown, and there's a great partnership with Marnie and Butler Tech with the congressman's team. And obviously, the two big things is the government shutdown. We're now reopening. And the new maps. So I just want to touch on those two things. Government shutdown, 43, I think, longest shutdown in American history. And that was unfortunate. On September 19th, the House of Representatives voted to fund it, and it was a clean CR, continuing resolution. And the Senate voted 15 times over the next 43 days, and finally we got some resolution to that and is reopening. So logistically for you guys, that we had a huge backlog, and we're trying to work with the different agencies. What we do day to day is work with the IRS and the VA and Social Security and all of the other federal agencies. And so if you need help with any of those federal agencies, please reach out to us. And we'll do anything we can to assist you. Specifically, this reopening funded 3 of the 12 annual appropriations, including agriculture and a higher SNAP rate. So it's nice to be back in business and get things moving again. But that was a kind of a frustrating part for all of us. And then redistricting. That got a little bit of attention, but this shocked all of us, including the congressman and our staff. On October the 30th, the Ohio Redistricting Commission surprisingly announced a deal, that the Ohio Supreme Court mandated redraw of the congressional districts, and they proposed this, and then the very next day, they unanimously approved the new maps. The good thing for us is that the congressman was representing Colerain and continues to get to represent Colerain should he be reelected next year. So Colerain will stay in the 8th district, and we're excited about that. And then otherwise, I just wanted to point out that the congressman is in DC a lot, and so out of sight, out of mind, and you don't always get to see this, but he has made it a huge priority of his to partner with the chamber and be active in Colerain. So we were at the Willow Center here this past summer with Seg Dennison, and that was a great event. Hosted an event with Representative Cindy Abrams at Pebble Creek Event Center. We were at Just Love Cafe with Ron Mosby, round table there. Trying to think of some of the other, Red Lobster. But then there's things behind the scenes. So when there was a shooting at Kroger there, he met with Chief Cordy and his command staff, and they reviewed the officer, body-worn cameras, and saw the amazing job that the Colerain officers did that day. You probably don't get to see that. He was in DC for the ribbon cutting for Station 102, but then, set up a tour with Chief Walls a week or two later to come by and tour the new fire station. Touring public playground equipment services and Clippard Industries and the Y, and I mean, I could go on and on with all the different businesses. So you don't always get to see his imprint and that he's here, but know that he is making Colerain a priority of his and connecting with the business community and all the organizations that operate here. So we're excited to continue to hopefully represent Colerain for a long, long time. The new maps will remain in place till January of 2031. But if there's anything we can do, please let me know, and I'd be happy to assist you with anything. But it's a real honor for the congressman to represent Colerain, and again, thank you on your many successes.
I will let you know that Cindy Abrams was not able to be here. She's in session up in Columbus. She would otherwise have been here this morning. I'm so grateful for this panel. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve with them across the community and with you. I'm opening up the floor for just a couple minutes. If you've got a question or two for the panel, just please raise your hand and speak loudly. If Patty were here, she'd pull out the crickets. Chirp, 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 chirp. That must mean, oh, we have one from the back. Teresa.
Sure. As a big advocate for public schools and education, what ways can the community get involved to help promote getting to where we need to be for funding of public education?
Daryl?
Thanks. Engagement and involvement. So one of the things that is really important to know is that the state has a funding formula. Every 2 years they revise that in how they're going to fund public schools, and constitutionally it is a fundamental responsibility of the government to fund public schools. One of the things that they've done is with their funding formula, they kind of tweak it every 2 years. They're using current values for what people in the community are making and what your houses are valued at, and comparing it to what it costs to educate kids in 2022. So when you have a lopsided formula, it makes the community look wealthier. So one of the things that's happened over time, the state, I said statewide, paid about 50% of the cost of public education. For Colerain and for Northwest districts in specific, they used to pay about 40% of the cost of public education. Because of the way they look at the funding formula, Northwest looks wealthy. So they have been reducing their state share to Northwest down to, we're on track over the next biennium budget to go down to about 10%, which is the exact same funding level of Indian Hill School District. So they are funding Northwest the same level they do Indian Hill because they view us as a wealthy district. And so that state share continues to reduce, which disproportionately pushes the responsibility onto the local community. So continuing to advocate our local legislators to continue to fund their fair share of public education because it is a legislative issue. And so as a community, we have to stand up and say that we support public education, but we can't do it without a partnership from the state, and the state has to live up to their end of the partnership.
Thank you. Any other questions? That's a follow-up.
Yes, emailing your local legislators. It is state level legislators, so your state level senators, state level congresspeople, and making sure that you're also including the governor on that because he obviously has veto ability. So making sure that those phone calls and emails to local legislators are going out, and really the message is simple. Continue to fund public education with a partnership with the state picking up their share of the partnership.
Any other questions? I think it's testament to the thoroughness that each of you took in. Oh, Alan. Alan's got a question. Alan's got an answer.
Just 1 minute?
Yeah, oh yeah. Mr. Alan Walls.
Yeah, Michael. No, I really didn't set in until Ed made the statement that this was the last one for me. So, I went and sat down and I was like, wow, you start having that epiphany of one last thing. So what I wanted to say is it's truly been a privilege and an honor, and I've been blessed to serve almost my entire career in Colerain Township. It'll be 30 years in September when I retire, 6 years as the fire chief. And there's no place else that I wanted to work. I had a short stint with the Harrison Fire Department full-time for a couple of years, but I've served my whole career on the west side because it is the best side, right? With that, though, some of you heard me say it, you know, stature's horizontal and responsibility's vertical. I'm not the most important person at the Colerain Fire Department, but I'm the most responsible person at the Colerain Fire Department. So it's because of the support of all of you, the board, the administrator, the administration, and those that I serve both in the community and in the fire department that makes what I do everything that it is. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
So just a couple last words. Some of you know that I promote at all opportunities. Tomorrow night at Sipsey Klein here on Northwest on Colerain Avenue, we're going to be hosted for our third Thursday. Kathy's nodding. Food is going to be provided by the Curry Stop, brand new Indian restaurant in the Stone Creek area. Please support your chamber members. Also, some have asked from a timeline perspective, Carrie is going to start on January 1st officially. That equates to Monday, January 5th because of the holiday weekend. But as you start to communicate with President at Colerain Chamber of Commerce, know that she and I will be monitoring that for a period of time. There will be some emails that will show up with my personal email because I'll be copied into those. And oftentimes, as you already know, Beth is just the communication extraordinaire. Continue to communicate with info@colerain.chamber.org and you'll get Beth. With that, thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you so much for your time.